What is up, YouTube? In today's video, we're going to go into Nickel 245 double A gap. Now, this is going to be a two-part series with this. The next video is going to be explaining how you can blow up Owen trap and inside zone easily out of this formation. In the second part of this video, we're going to be talking about beating a max protect gun bunch. So stay tuned for that. There's a little bit of a tricky adjustment you got to do to really be able to scream against a max pro. Now, this is the 3-4 playbook. You can use this out of New York Giants. I want to say Ravens. Basically, any 3-4 based playbook you can use this out of. I believe so. I'm 99% sure. So anyways, 245 double A gap. And we're going to be utilizing mid blitz. Now, before you comment on this, like, oh, it's just mid blitz, it's just in 6. There's some tricks to it, and it's honestly better than what it was a couple years ago. So, without further ado, we're going to talk about personnel real fast. Okay, we've got two safeties in the box right here. Your speed. That's all that matters. Same thing with these two defensive ends. The faster, the better. Now, I don't use the linebackers on the Packers very often, so I don't know who is fast and who is not. Check out your team and determine that for yourself. So mid blitz is what we're going to be using, and we're going to go ahead and just start off in gun bunch and talk about a couple of different adjustments you can make so you don't have to worry about your user or any of that stuff. So the setup is spread D-line, slant inside. This is your user right here. This needs to be the fastest player you've got on your team. In this case of the Packers, it's Perry Nickerson, 95 speed. So we're going to be using him. Now, I want to point this out. He is manned up to the running back. That is your assignment. But with a simple quick adjustment of left on the D-pad, double tapping it, you can go ahead and put this outside linebacker, which is really defensive in the way the game recognizes it, and man him up to the running back. The next part is take your user, blitz your user, and this is going to work against 5-on-5. Yes, we're technically blitzing 6 with our user, but we're still going to get this guy coming off of the edge every single time. So bring your user down. Do your best to engage with an offensive lineman. That's critical, especially as they go into slide protect and ID the mic scream. So engage, disengage, and just cover whoever you need to. In this case, it's spacing switch. So a simple shade down, and none of those are going to get open. If it was something a little more complicated with a crossing route, then of course that's going to be your number one assignment to take away. And we'll show you guys a play that has that. So again, it's spread D-line, press, and this is important as we go against a gun bunch or any tight formation. Slant D-line down, and so we don't have to worry about the running back. We're going to take this outside linebacker or that defensive end, X, and man him up to the running back. Blitzer user, and just simply engage. And you can see right there, bang, coming off of the edge. And we've got our user free to wherever we need to be at. Now, people are going to pick up on that, okay? They're going to go ahead and start blitzing or blocking. Good grief. Blitzing. They're going to blitz their running back. They're going to block their running back. And now we're going to go ahead and stop manning him up. This is where it comes down to how well can you read what they're doing on offense and how well can you predict their tendencies and figure out their tendencies. A lot of people, their first go-to thing is to block their running back. But even if they block their running back and slide protect and ID, I'm not going to go through the whole steps of it until the end of the video where I'll show you how you can block this blitz consistently. It's still gonna scream. So again, press, spread D-line, slant inside, blitz your user. Again, just pick up on your opponent's tendencies. You can see right there, again, same guy coming off of the edge. Now, if they were to go max protect, this is gonna get blocked regardless, okay? And there's a little bit of I want to say a glitch you can do to get this to scream against a max protect gun bunch. So max protect, snap the ball, engage, disengage. You can see we're just getting a shed off of the edge. That's kind of why this blitz is also good. Now, you guys may be thinking, well, boring. This blitz sucks. If it max protect gun bunch picks us up, well, this blitz isn't worth jack crap, right? Well, there's a little bit of a trick to it. And we're going to save that towards the end of the video along with how you can pick this blitz up. All right, for you guys that are going to be facing this in Weekend League, Godspeed. I don't know what kind of psychopath you are, but woo, more power to you, okay? So if they go and block their tight end, this blitz is also going to get picked up. Now, I want to talk about this real fast, okay? We may have one guy coming off the edge, but if they block their tight end, you can see that guy still comes in free. If we blitz 6 without our user, the blitz gets picked up. Obviously, if they block their running back, it gets picked up as well. So if they block their tight end, it will more often pick it up. If they send their running back on a route, you just want to do this simple quick adjustment and send it like this. And they may do something like this where they send their running back on a route and block their tight end. And this is kind of what I'm talking about right here. Even if you set the blitz up correctly, there's not going to be anybody coming free. You can see the guy that normally would have been coming through, except for a disengage, gets picked up by the tight end and we don't scream. So if you notice that they're blocking their tight end and they're sending their running back on a route, this is where you can get a little bit more tricky. So we're going to set this up as if they're sending their running back on a route. All right. And we're going to go ahead and blitz our user. Notice the man assignments with the safety and the slot corner. We need to switch those up. If they are blocking their tight end, you need to take the slot corner, man him up to the tight end. And then your safety, this guy right here, you can do whatever you want. You can go ahead and man him up to the slot receiver. You could put him in a deep half. You could put him in an inside third, a curl flat, or even a hook curl. It doesn't matter. Really, the adjustments are up to you. I'm going to just leave him manned up to the slot corner because, well, man coverage is so insanely and absurdly good this year. And now, because we've switched the man assignments, we've manned up the slot corner to the tight end. Watch what happens. We are going to blitz our user. That's also a key factor to get this blitz to come through. I'm going to keep the controller off so it does go when it gets a sack. But we're going to go ahead, engage, disengage, and, well, we forgot to block my tight end like an absolute bot. So we're going to try that again, okay? We blocked our tight end. We're going to engage, disengage, and there we go. Hallelujah. You can see we're getting a straight up nano blitz right between the tackle and the tight end. Now, little piece of advice, little heads up. Sometimes this blitz is so fast that it will get picked up by nano detection. Don't know why, but it is what it is. And as you guys saw me be a complete bot earlier on, the nice thing about doing this little man swap is if they do block their tight end, that guy, that slot corner that's manned up to him, as long as you blitz your user, okay, he will come screaming in between the tackle and the tight end every single time. Try and get the position correct. If you can get the placement done correctly, you scream. If you're too far to the outside, it doesn't scream. You gotta get the placement right. So get into practice mode and kind of understand where you need to stand. It's roughly about here-ish. Okay, snap the ball, engage, disengage. You can see that time Gary is coming off of the edge instead. Again, because of the whole man assignment, for some reason it glitches out that slot corner and sends him on a blitz. But now the hard part, the boring part, the way that you block this blitz. Now, this blitz requires very specific blocking assignments and you must max protect. You cannot block this blitz by simply blocking your tight end with slide and ID. Regardless of who you ID and what way you slide, if you only block your tight end, there will be somebody coming through every single time, guaranteed. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to max protect. Now, I don't know if you've seen it the glitched out way that I run it, but you want to max protect, slide towards your running back, and then take the ID the mic, and you kind of see it's a little difficult to tell the difference between the two, but you want to ID that defensive end. See how the mic kind of shifts up? Now we're on the slot corner, but we want to ID the defensive end, and it's looking like this. Then from there, if you have a hot route master or slot apprentice, please have route technicians. That's all I gotta say. You should be able to cook up some dots to be able to beat man coverage. A lot of people, what they like to do if they don't have acrobat or if they don't have one step ahead, is just a simple shade over the top. With any cover zero blitzes, this is kind of a generic thing, is recognizing the different shades. So if they're to shade over top, let's just go ahead and put B on a hitch, RB on a streak. I'm gonna just do a full-fledged max protect, okay? X on a drag. Pay attention to what the corners do. Notice there is no press whatsoever. Now, of course, a user would be right there to snag it, right? But there's never going to be a press if they're shading over the top, which means you're now able to hit your hitches, you're now able to hit your drags, and you're now able to hit your slants because they get clean releases. So if they press, and run it stock, we'll set up that same exact route combo. Notice they get pressed right off the bat, and you guys can see right there, the slant doesn't get near as much separation, and that's what makes this blitz such a headache, is because a lot of people aren't paying attention to the interaction of the DB and the receiver at the press. They don't get pressed, they're shading over the top. They do get pressed, they're either shading down or they're not doing any sort of shade over or shade under at all. So pay attention to how aggressive they press. They press super aggressive. It's a shade underneath. If it's just an easy press, more than likely there's no shade over or shade under. They're just running it stock, and react accordingly. So that's going to take care of this little blitz. And a way that you can often pick this blitz up, it's not a guaranteed way, but it's the way that I found that's most consistent in picking it up. Again, if you have Hot Route Master or Slot Apprentice, those are going to be really helpful, especially with your route technician, to beat man coverage over the top. But as you start mixing this blitz in by dropping the DNs into purples, or maybe dropping them into vert hooks and just doing all sorts of different man coverage assignments behind it, maybe even change it into cover 2 shell, you're going to be able to just completely lose your opponents in the dust. So guys, that's going to take care of the video. There's a couple other videos I want you guys to check out right now for Big Nickel over G. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure you hit that subscribe button, or if you're not convinced of this channel yet, check out these other 2 videos right now about Big Nickel over G. See ya.